Hi, this is Nick at Saratoga Wine, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, kind of local to us in New York. This is Rick Rainey from Forge Cellars, great Riesling and Cabernet Franc producer in New York State in the Finger Lakes. Rick, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So let's dive into the story. Tell us about Forge.
Yeah, okay. So 2011, we started Forge. I have a 15th generation French partner, Louis Barrault, who owns Chateau Saint-Côme, which you guys probably know.
Absolutely.
I met him because in my past life, I was working for an importer distributor. So for about 23 years, I did that. We met in 2000, got along really well, tasted good together, enjoyed each other's company. In 2009, having lunch in Gigondas, he said,
As one does.
As we do. And he said, tell me about this place. And so I told him about the neighborhood.
Okay.
And, these glacial lakes that are 630 feet deep, 40 miles long, mile and a half wide. The mother rock is Devonian shale from 350 million years ago.
Right, which is quite old compared to some other regions, right?
It's quite old. It's very old, in fact. And his eyes lit up when he heard this. For Frenchmen, you're talking love language,
right?
And so he's like, well, I want to come check this place out.
Okay.
And he was a rock star at the time. This was when he just got a bunch of crazy press, and he was on top of the world. And I thought, okay, this guy's not going to come to the Finger Lakes. I mean, he has paradise, living in Provence, old estate. A couple months later, phone rings. Hey, I'm in the States. I want to come check these lakes out.
Okay.
So he flew up. We started tasting wine. And 2 years later, we made our first vintage.
Wow.
And so we started with just 300 cases, super small production. We consistently grew every year, reinvesting, growing. I kept my day job for the next 11 years.
Okay.
In 2022, I retired from my wine day job to run the estate full time. And here we are.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, it's every wine geek's dream, right?
It's like a made-for-wine Hallmark movie. I think 85% of my job is getting people excited about the lakes.
Right.
So the mother rock, the main rock of the lakes is Devonian shale.
Okay.
That was created 350 million years ago. So that was when that area was completely underwater.
Right.
And you had this vast inland seas. And in fact, we're 5 hours from the ocean, but we're very connected to the ocean because of the salinity. We have salt mines underneath Caywood Lake and underneath Seneca Lake. So they've been mining sea salt for well over 100 years.
Wow.
From Seneca Lake. And so even though I'm 5 hours from the ocean, these wines are very much connected to the ocean. So all these wines are, we call it ego-less winemaking, because for us, it's very much about the site. So the first wine we'll have is bone dry Riesling from sandy soils, and the name of this vineyard is called Willow.
Certainly bone dry. Plenty of acidity, that's for sure.
And you find the acidity is an element for sure, but you'll see as we go along, the common thread is the salinity. I think one of the hallmarks of Forge is the textural component.
Sure.
We pick very late because what we don't have is we don't have sugar and we don't have alcohol. These are two things that can give mid-palate. We only have ripeness and long ripening. So it's crucial for us to really go the full distance with ripening.
Okay.
Because I'm only at 12.5% alcohol,
right.
But we love texture. So these wines for us is we want them to be kind of sexy.
Right.
Not laser water, not, we want them to be mouth-filling, pleasurable, joyful to drink.
Balance.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's try this. This is 2022.
Okay.
And it's called Caywood. Now, Caywood is a really fantastic site. It's in the hamlet of Caywood. This was planted by Charles Fournier in the early 1970s. French guy, worked with Dr. Frank. Very old vines, very low yields.
Okay. I mean, and nice bit of color in there as well.
Yeah, that's the Forge color. We because we're picking fully ripe grapes. We're not picking green or yellow.
Right.
We're picking orange, apricot, because we go full, so right along with ripening.
And right off the bat, I mean, there's a bit more of kind of a deeper, broader aromatic profile to it that really is starting to
so
stick out.
you see, we jumped up.
Yeah,
you
certainly.
feel it.
Yep. Haven't even tasted it yet, and you can already tell. So it's great nose. Wow. This to me is even more identifiable as Riesling, but not what people necessarily have come to think of Riesling, right? There's no sweetness in here at all. It's been bone dry. But the complexity and the citrus, fruit profile comes through, a little bit of that slaty minerality. Again, that little saline kick to it.
Can you guess, if you tasting the wines, can you guess what are the wines that I'm drinking most of?
Riesling?
No. No. Loire White.
Okay.
Chenin. And White Burgundy.
I was going to say, I'd guess Chablis for sure.
Yeah. But yep. These are the wines that we probably consume the most of, and we get a lot of inspiration because Loire dry whites, they have this complexity, they have this long ripening, but then they have this really good freshness, this minerality. In Burgundy, I take inspiration because of the texture. The texture of the Burgundy is, for me, fascinating. So sexy. And so, when you taste these wines, it's people, think, okay, I make Riesling. Well, I must be like the Mosel, or I must be, and in fact, we have some similarities, but we're definitely distinctively Finger Lakes. So, third dry Riesling, Breakneck Creek. Wow. So, the action of the Finger Lakes was we think of this linear back and forth with the glaciers coming out of the north, a mile-high thick wall of ice, pushing all that topsoils into Pennsylvania, creating the nice rolling hills that we have.
Okay.
Well, what it did was it gouged out the lake and it presented the shale. But it also did something else. It would hit the water and slow down, and all of the big stuff in suspension, the big rocks, fall out, and then the smaller stuff falls out last. So for instance, Willow is the tail of an alluvial fan, and that's sand. Now we're at the head of an alluvial fan, and we have these fans all over. We've just been identifying them.
Sure.
This is the head of the alluvial fan, and that's gravel.
Okay.
And so what we find is the sand gives more floral elements. Gravel gives more saltiness.
Okay.
So when you taste the wine, this is the wine that for us is the most reminiscent of the sea because you really always feel the salinity. And that's Breakneck Creek.
Approximate ageability. Is there a sweet spot in these wines, or, give me a range.
So what is fascinating is the vintage variation goes away after 4 or 5 years. So for instance, if you have a very fruity vintage, that fruitiness after 5 or 6 years goes away, and then the vineyard comes to the top.
Cool.
So so the vineyard ends up, ruling the day. The vintage is kind of short-lived. I only, made Riesling, dry Riesling, and Pinot.
Okay.
And I said, I'm never going to make anything else. Well, in 2019, we made Cab Franc. and then in 2021, we made, or 22, we made Chard. So very old vine, very low yielding. Anywhere else on the planet, the wine would cost 2 or 3 times more. But you'll see the aromatics, they almost like stick to your nose, and the texture and the richness. And once again, these are 12.5, 12.6, but they have so much intensity and richness and texture, but still the salinity.
Okay. And how old is the vineyard?
55 years old.
Wow.
This wine, winemaking is classic, but it says everything about the potential of these older vineyards.
Sure, yeah.
It's these gems that are out there that we're still trying to find, and finding that these old vineyards that, imagine living for 55 years in this climate, how tough these vines have to be to survive, and what the fruit that they can give.
This is a really fascinating lineup here from the gentleman here at Forge, Rick Rainey. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Thanks a bunch.
Cheers. Salut.